There's an interesting test God established in Numbers chapter 5. It's called the test for the unfaithful wife. I won't give you all the details. You can read about it yourself in Numbers chapter 5, but I'll give you the short version. The short version is if a husband suspected his wife of being unfaithful to him, and if she was denying it, then the husband could take the wife to the priest, and there was an elaborate test that they would go through to reveal whether or not she had been unfaithful. And part of that test was the woman drinking a very, very special water. And after she drank the water, it would be revealed if she was faithful or if she had been unfaithful. And if she was faithful, if the charges were, if they were false, then nothing would happen. She would just continue to go on as normal. But if she was unfaithful, then the water would cause her womb to die immediately, and she would feel it. She would never again be able to have children, and so there would be a consequence. That's the test for the unfaithful wife. And there are two parts of it I want to highlight. One, I want you to think about how it would have felt to be a husband who took his wife in for that test and whose wife was proven to be unfaithful. In other words, he was the victim of someone else's unloving action. I want you to think about how that felt, because I'm guessing you know how that feels. I don't know why God chose the test for the unfaithful wife as the one test to highlight in Numbers chapter 5. If God did a test for unfaithfulness in the world today, of people who were unfaithful to God or unfaithful to one another in any kind of relationship, in any kind of way, I don't know that there are too many who would pass that test. And as a result, I bet sometimes you've been the victim of somebody else's unloving action, and so you know how that hurts when you suffer the consequences for what someone else has done. And if you're holding on to feelings like that, I want to remind you of something. God knew the outcome of the test even before the people did. He just revealed it to those who didn't know it yet. He knew, and He cared about it. He cared enough about sin and its consequences that He set up this test so that it could be revealed. But God knew about it the whole time, just as God isn't unaware of what's been done to you. He's not unaware of how much you hurt. He's not unaware of the pain in your heart that lives there, not because of anything you did, but because of someone else. And if He has promised to one day take you to a place where all of your deepest wounds will be healed, it means that He's telling you that it's not going to get the best of you. It's not going to get the best of you. You get to live with that reality today. God cares enough about sin and what's been done to you to assure you that it's not going to get the best of you. Now I want you to think about how it would feel to be a woman who was going through that test knowing she had been unfaithful, knowing that there was going to be a consequence for what she did, knowing that she crossed a line that she knew she shouldn't. I want you to think about that too, because I bet you've been in that position as well. You know how it feels to have regret. You know how it feels to not be able to take something back. You know how that feels? To know that there is a consequence coming because of something you did. And I want to remind you of what that consequence is. There's something that happened as a result. God sent Jesus. God sent an innocent man to be punished for that sin so that you would never have to be punished for it. He sent Jesus so that you could look at yourself today and know that you're forgiven. You're forgiven. God doesn't hold it against you. There might be temporary consequences to what you did here on earth as a reminder that we shouldn't do that again. Difficult things that you have to live with, but in the same way, if God has promised you a place where all of your deepest wounds will be healed, then even your sin isn't going to get the best of you in the end. So rest well tonight, my friends. God cares about sin. He cared enough to save us from it.